Alright. Looks like YouTube is good. Let's go. Let's make sure Twitch is good. I'm getting an ad, so I'm assuming so. Alright. Let's get everything set up properly. Let's get my controller plugged in. Is that the bot pinging? That is the bot pinging. Hello, viewer. Okay, I am rushing to get everything ready in time. That's what's happening. If there are enough people? Nope, not QM. I'll make an open lobby real quick. Just lost a matter, whatever. But I gotta get matchups going and make sure I'm not forgetting anything else. So I'll do this, and then I'll kind of be half paying attention. Otherwise, we'll just be staring at this and listen to the music and vibing. It's just a goofy little cat boy. That's yeah. But yeah, outside of that, matchups. That's what I'm doing. Panic. All right. Didn't realize Hamilton was signed up, Limo. Okay. So there's one guaranteed match, and then I need to ask some questions for some people because I want to make sure people have matches they want. But while we're doing that, I'll get started typing everything up. So we've got okay. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Too many things. All right. Got that done. Octo, you're here in chat, right? Do you think you versus straight is a good way for y'all to get advice, or do you think the games are a little bit too... y'all are a little bit too far apart? Really? I thought I've put you against straight before. Okay. I'll put y'all as the matchup with the tentative. If y'all think it's too much, I'll split it into 2 open lobbies. I mean, my memory is bad too. Don't feel pressured about that. I'm asking because I personally cannot remember. Um. Do that. And then I'll do. You'd think I'd remember the formatting by now, but I am something else. Okay. Okay, actually, if you were asking to fight someone better than you, I think I definitely feel comfortable having fortune pointers. We got that, and then okay. I'll have this up for now. That's most of them should be pretty good. Might end up having Aki face random rock, but we will see. But for now, we're already a little bit late, so I'll get the lobby going. Apologies that no one joined Octa. We might have a Ruby at some point in time, so we'll do this. Got that. Hop in here. Got this going, got that going. Alrighty. On that note, let's get Doot and Amber. And I think they both have different names, so that... Amber versus... Alright, let's get this going. I'll get the lobby link pinned. Get rid of the old one. We got one. We got Amber. Now we just gotta get a Doot. They are currently in CSGO. Give them a couple minutes. Panic. All right. Where's the scammer? I'll give them one more minute and then I'll move on to the next one. If they don't come around by the time the next set is finished, I'll open a beginner open lobby for Amber. I know both of y'all are in here, so thankfully this will go. Have Octo and Straight up. Alright, I got it. Oh, I'll finish sending this message. Alright. Yeah, Bail Jump Heavy Punch. It's a really boxy button and it's kind of obnoxious for Fortune to contest. You can fish for Fiber, but it's disjointed and Fiber oftentimes just trades with it. Fortune's in. We're doing DHC straight into Annie. Okay. Oh, unfortunate drop. We're trying to get hype. We went back in. How are we doing our pressure? Drop. We pressed in the corner and got out. Annie's going for mix. PB push. Okay, so if you have, this is true for all the beam supers in the first place. Not true for Parasol, but it's not real beam. Getting beyond myself. If they hit you with the beam, it's not safe, but it will push you farther away. You can use large forward-moving moves, usually super, so like Arm will punish it, I'm pretty sure, on block. But if you want the easiest way to punish it, you push block the beam, and you stay in place. It usually takes 2 push blocks, and then you're still close enough for a normal afterwards. Oh, snap. Please snap. Please snap. Please snap. You need this life back. You really need this life back. Okay. Alright. The cat's in. Jump light kick, ID jump light kick. Yep. Raw tag. Really sketchy defensive option. Ended up working this time. Okay. Yeah, so for you straight, obviously you're still working on the Fortune. Fortune's like greatest strength is being above people. And you're sort of getting there. You're doing a lot of up forward with jump light kick, that sort of stuff. Keep in mind your DP is also a movement tool. So if you're full screen, you've got like very little to actually be afraid of. But yeah, so you try and Fiber to get above them. And then you still have your air dash and your double jump after you jump cancel the Fiber. And so it's a good way to get above them. Another thing is you can also afford to stay a bit more grounded. Your ground dash is great, your 2 LK is crimes, your 5 heavy punch has a lot of reach. So experiment with doing more than just jump light kick. It's an incredibly strong tool that should probably be the basis of your neutral game plan. But don't have it be super predictable because it's an egregious button, but it's not undefeatable. Especially with Bayo, with his like 5 HK, or not 5 HK, 5 heavy punch, 2 heavy punch, and his chair toss. All of those are pretty good anti-airs that kind of catch your lanky Fortune buttons. Good armor. Right, what are we doing on hit? Throw. Fair enough. We're meshing. We're getting mixed. Hopefully this is just on my end. That was a little ugly. Don't burst. Well, actually you can burst there. It's a gold burst because it's a projectile. It's not the usual setup. We're meshing. Right, we need to get the hit and get the snap. So, what you just did there, Octo, could have gotten you killed. Your stand heavy punch is a great tool. Once your opponent gets used to chicken blocking it, it becomes a lot less strong of a tool. Notice when that happens and cancel into Blitzer. Just understand some people might still have land cancel punishes for that. And I would recommend using stand heavy punch at like its fullest extent of the range, and then once you're any closer, start working in with like hop dashes, stuff like that. Don't commit. You don't need to control anywhere near as much space once you've gotten a lot closer. So you can be a bit more patient in your approach. Overhead, good pressure. Oh. Cat gets the hit. Oh, so again, that's a chicken block there. If you notice you actually got the jump off and blocked before you got the hit, you will land cancel the block stun. And it's an incredibly strongest fortune because your jab is far-reaching and the fastest in the game. Get used to recognizing this. It will help a lot in the... I mean, every matchup, it has applications, but some more than others. Bayo, Parasol, Fuqua are all especially susceptible to jump cancels if they're not deliberately routing around it. Burst, fair enough. Yeah, we are relying on jump heavy punch a lot. And while it is kind of controlling space and you're not really getting punished for it, we're not actually getting the hit for it either. So it's... Yep. Oh, wow. Not actually enough hit stop to catch you there. We're just barely not close enough. Alright, let's get the snap. Yep. Who do we bring in? We bring in the cat. Get caught getting hype. Oh, you can jab there. Punish. Jump heavy punch gets the hit. Hop dash in. I like that pressure. We got our height, playing the patient, and then armor. Okay. Kill this character. Oh, we messed up the height. And we got Teacup Fun coming. Yeah. Mistimed her throw. Right idea. Media incoming's always pretty good. And then like strike throw is always going to be an incoming setup. Yes, 5. That wins! I am shocked. Yeah. For the record, if you're gonna do that round start, I'd probably recommend doing Fiber plus Assist, because Fiber round start by itself can get called out. No, this... I'm gonna lose my mind. You know better, Aki. Yeah, now we're just getting mixed. Mash. Fair enough. Chair got the hit. Oh, just barely 2 out of range to get the confirm. Straight, if you had done arm, if you had done stinger right immediately after that third, the third blitzer, if it's not a empowered blitzer, if it's not EX blitzer, it's incredibly minus no matter what direction it goes. And so I would be shocked if any direction they choose doesn't get punished by a stinger. So when you see a Beowulf commit to all the blitzers, it is punish time. It's not only your turn, it is a hit. Obviously, if they go like directly backwards, sometimes you don't want to commit resources to fully punishing, but it is 100% your turn. Yeah, if you want that hit, Stinger after Blitzer. And you were close enough for the corner, I think you were getting confirmed. But a fast option after the third Blitzer will work. Second Blitzer will always be mine, so it's still always your turn. You usually just don't get a punish. Obviously, this does not include like assists, changing things, etc. Preset below. Blocked. Push block was pretty good. They didn't overextend into your PBGC. Cat got in, got the hit, got it. Gamble it on Wake Up. You've been doing it a lot, so it's kind of in Straight's court. Like, I feel like I'd be expecting that mash. You might want to tone it down a little bit. Obviously, it varies from player to player, matchup to matchup, but I would argue you're doing it a little bit too much. Mash until you notice them respecting it, and then use the respect to just buy time. Yeah, and so Straight, you might not have been quite aware of meter or health, but you could have killed instead of doing the snap there. I do like that you're going for the snap against solos there. If that wasn't a killing hit, I'd be all for that. So that is already a good step, a good game plan for dealing with solos. Big fan. So it's important knowledge to have. But yeah, so I talked a lot about kind of land canceling, and I think it's something definitely for you to be looking at, Straight, because it also will help you in the P matchup. I know you talked about not quite understanding chicken blocking the projectile or the item drop, etc. Once you get used to doing it to big normals, all of a sudden you can start figuring out how to apply it to other things. So look for places in games where you can start focusing on land canceling. There's that. There is... I talked about diversifying your movement a little bit for Fortune Straight. Trying to think what else. I don't know how much I saw you fishing with 2LK. Obviously, I was slightly distracted throughout the set, so if I missed it, it's a thing, but she's not just jump light kick the character, she has other really good grounded buttons. I know I talked about this a little bit, but if you're at a range, like after you get push blocked out from IAD jump light kick Gato, or even just like they push block the second you do like jump light kick, air dash, jump light kick, and they blocked both of them and they pushed you out afterwards. Like micro dash 2LK usually is more than close enough to catch them. And if it's not, you can also not even dash and just press 5 heavy punch and catch them trying to do something quickly after it. 5 heavy punch is a niche tool, but it's an incredibly strong tool for Fortune that you can confirm at max range with a H scratch. So if you feel like trying out something, if you're feeling like being a little bit more spicy, throw out a 5 heavy punch every now and then. Get used to its spacing. It's an incredibly strong tool that very few Fortunes actually use. But yeah, and then so for Octo, I'm trying to figure out... The main thing I definitely noticed was I feel like you have an over-reliance on heavy punch for neutral. And again, it is a strong tool, but it is not the end-all be-all of Beowulf neutral, and the closer you are to opponent, the much more easily it is to punish. So doing it like 3/4 screen, especially with your chair on, fair, yeah, 100% I agree. When you're closer, again, I think I already mentioned like trying to work your way in with hop dashes. just like using your ground spacing boxing buttons, like your sweep is a reasonable poke tool, even though you don't get confirms off of it, unfortunately. And I'm talking about chair on sweep. Like chair off obviously is great. Chair on is a far-reaching low, just a nice little chop at the toes. Stand heavy punch is great for just boxing out airspace. Obviously, if you whiff any of them and you see them coming in, you can always whiff cancel into H toss, and then your plus, with the exception of Fortune and Philia, who can kind of just jab and then win afterwards. So you got to keep that in mind for those matchups. And then I think outside of that, for like, I want to say you can probably focus a bit more on your on-hit game plan, and I don't necessarily mean your combos, but I mean where you go for resets, because I think once you start doing Oki or just playing a bit more like, I guess you could say, a modern Beowulf, if you choose either Oki or resets, either one, and you work on getting those down, I think you'll all of a sudden become quite a bit more threatening, because as is, I think that might be the weakest part of your offense. And if you can like guarantee kill a character as solo Beowulf, things start feeling a lot better. If you're like, all right, I'm gonna reset here, and I know how to kill after. I think you need hype to combo into Oki, and that is a question I would ping Ruby or any of the other Beowulfs that are here for. There probably are also resources on the wiki for it, but it definitely can be done, Octo. And so whether it's wiki resources or what's it called? I'll ask Ruby for those. Yeah, and obviously you don't need to go for Oki as well. You can just you can just do resets like or like Beowulf does, Ruby does. Ruby is now Beowulf. Yeah. Yeah, oh, well, yeah, Mara definitely knows Beowulf resources. So they're a good person to ask right now if you want an immediate response. All right, we'll get Amber in here. It's an open lobby for a beginner level player. So if any of y'all in chat, I'll give y'all like a minute if you want. The link's there or in there. If any of y'all want to claim that, otherwise I'll ping the looking for games for one like 2 minutes later. If no one showed up, I'll try and give them the usual SG introduction, the Get Gr8 introduction to beginner. All right, I'll throw the ping in, and then I'll wait for 29 or 30. If not, I'll just ready up myself. And okay, they want to focus on defense and work on getting mix into their game plan. Understood. Yeah, the rust can be strong in this game. Uh, if you want to run an Octo, I think that would probably be fine. Yeah. Yeah, just hop on in. Let me check to make sure. Yeah, it shouldn't be bad at all. Yeah, hop on in. We'll get you another run. I will probably focus mostly on Amber for this set, but I'll still keep an eye out for things for you as well. But I want to make sure they're getting their fair share of eyes. All right. Let's go. Oopsies. I, for the record, would not stun heavy punch robo round start is not something I'd recommend. Maybe if you're like got the hard read on what they're doing, but as like a default starting option, I would much more want to see just a good runaway, just like a backdash and up back, that sort of deal. Maybe a sweep. Sweep's a bit of a safer aggressive approach. Yeah. Oh, not quite getting to confirm. Okay. Chair back, kill the character, yes. Tech out of the corner, I love to see it. Fortunate drop, got mashed on. And so, for you, Amber, one thing that makes this a little bit awkward is you definitely talked about working on resets. Fortunately, Robo doesn't have the greatest. There are some on the wiki, but you might also not be the most comfortable with the setups. Good recognition on damage, though. Yeah, that's a good kill. Obviously, your stand heavy kick is an option. Something I'd use sparingly. I would... If you can, I would recommend learning the cross-under setup, just so you can helicopter under them and then do 2 light punch and left-right them. That's probably one of the easier ones to get down. I could be misremembering, but it's a pretty solid one to just have in your back pocket. Because after you go far enough in the block string, your opponent does not actually need to respect low, because once you go past a medium, the only thing you can do is hit them high. And once they recognize that, it becomes a lot easier for them to just block high after you've gone so far in your block string, and it's not really a mix-up. So do keep that in mind. We are zoning, yes. This is what I'd love to see. Good patience, too. Calling out the mash once you noticed they were going to get kind of impatient. Great throw reset. Yeah, this can't happen versus Beowulf. You press after, it is your turn there. 100%. Combo into kill. You had also talked about defense, so I will try and make a note of that. Jump into the chair accidentally. What happens? Catch them high. You're getting close to intermediate, so I feel a little bit better saying this in a beginner bracket, but or not bracket, but yeah, the beginner side. I think I'd encourage you to not use like that's not spiral, what is it? H danger or stun heavy kick into magnet combos. Usually there are better ways to be spending your meter. Obviously off stray hits, and if you need the confirm, I do it, but I'd rather you have a normal B&B that doesn't rely on meter. Just for the purpose of being the most flexible. Because I've noticed you go for similar links, I guess is the correct term, somewhat consistently. Procto. Yeah, I can understand you wanna, like, you're so used to playing patient to try and get hype before you run your game plan. It's just, Robo isn't really gonna let you run that game plan. Not without an assist to block some of the beams for you. So, it might be worth... Again, I do very much like the default game plan of be patient, get hype, then go in. But if you're noticing it's not working, try and be a little bit more aggressive until you notice they're giving you a lot more space. And that's when you can start going, oh, they think I'm going to run at them. Now is when I'm going to... Good reaction. Now is when I'm going to get hype. When they're afraid and spending time running away. Liam runs, let's go. Some good B&B. Once again, you could have gotten chicken blocks there. Didn't quite go through. Do we have these? Oh no, you need an assist to come off that. I'm crazy. Oh, we have... Okay, you were aware. You need to finish the route. Yep, do that tech roll forward. It's a great movement option. Obviously, don't be too predictable with it, but from full screen, there's not much a robot can really do. Even if they sweep you and call you out, they don't get a full combo after, because it doesn't vacuum you in. That's gonna be too high for you to hit. Oh. Okay, be careful about tech rolling that far because you gave them the corner. Oh, we know. Let's go. Okay. Looks like we have a ton of different routes for Amber, which is a good thing to see. Usually the recommended line is to like focus on one specific, but it's good that you know these things. It'll make progressing into resets and other things a lot easier once you start implementing them more. Alright, and I said I'd focus on defense. You haven't been put on defense much, though. You've actually been doing a pretty good job avoiding dealing with the Beowulf in general. I'll answer that after. Okay. Dealing with this, get caught by the low. Grip. Check out of the corner, but don't block. I am so... it makes me incredibly happy to see that your normal habit is to tech away from the corner. That's already an amazing defensive place to start. We are just getting hit, not even blocking, so I think we're up forwarding a bit too much. Sometimes you do just have to hold things in this game. It's terrifying what you do. If they are doing this many jumping beans, Octo, you can arm them out of the sky. You can also just ground walk. You don't have to dash, you can just walk at them. If they're that consistently doing air beams, if they're calling you out for jumping, walk at them. Just walk at them menacingly. We got the confirm. We already used that button, gotta keep track of IPS. Didn't really have a reason to go in, they were so close to getting chipped out, we could have just beamed for the kill. Alright, they're boxed in the corner. Got caught right before you got their hands on them. Yeah. Not keeping track of IPS, quite important. Mistimed your throw, just barely. You were right. Yep, jump heavy punch isn't going to do much in this matchup. We get the arm, no pickup, they check out of the corner. Okay. Yeah, you are up forwarding a lot. It's a great tool on Robo, don't get me wrong. If you start getting hit for doing it too much, like this, because I'm pretty sure you're just up forwarding again, sometimes you gotta hold things. Oh, we could have level 3'd the game, and we jumped into the loving arms of Beowulf. Unfortunate. That happens. Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like that's probably the biggest thing I've seen on defense is you default the up forward, which just means you get hit by a lot. There are some places, or sometimes... I'll rephrase this. Some parts are better for up forwarding than others. Usually Oki and like setups where things are pretty meaty end up losing to, or end up beating up forward. So if you get like knocked all the way down, or if you can't act until they're hitting you at the high-low, that's a time where you have to recognize, okay, up forward isn't going to do much for me here, I just have to hold this. Okay, jump heavy punch, yep. Controlling space, we got beamed out the sky. Not quite getting the confirm. We're giving her a little bit too much space out of the corner. When you're that close, I think you just gotta go in. Obviously you can go in and choose to do nothing and try and bait out Saw that way, but just backing up and giving the zoner space it's an issue. It's something I struggle with too. It's by no means easy. Rewriting that and like stop being afraid, but you don't necessarily need to go in, but I highly recommend you hold your ground. At the very least. Good grip. Yeah. I think for the most part, Amber, like, you have some pretty good defensive habits. They just need to be tuned a little bit. I think you don't need to be pressing stand heavy punch or up forward as much as you are. And you can just work on holding it and push blocking them out. Being, okay, it's like, this is a time where I need to respect their options. I don't know if you're intentionally trying to do a gold burst setup, but however you're doing it, it's either not working properly or it's not a real thing. Because you don't really have many options off after stand heavy punch, and usually that's what you want off of a gold burst setup. Like Painwheel can flight cancel her armor, so on and so forth. Man, so I will talk about actually because you had asked while I'm doing the wrap up. I will briefly talk about Philia Robo? Philia Robo is an incredibly strong duo. Beam controls neutral. Philia hates Beam. Or Philia hates neutral. She has stubby buttons. She just wants to skip neutral to get in. Beam kind of lets her do that. On the flip side, Hairball is one of the best zoning assists in the game. Straight up, it just pushes people really far back. It buys you a lot of time and combos. Sunset Radiance used to play Fortune Philia Robo, and her game plan for Robo was literally do a full combo into Hairball, send them full screen while getting Robo Taunt, which empowers your heads. It empowers your missiles, if you weren't aware. Tried and true, very strong duo. Recommend. And I can talk about it more if you would like, but I'll leave it at that brief description for now. And so then talking about the game, I understand it might be a little boring, but I think there are definitely times where you kind of just got bored of zoning and went in. I know a couple other robos who play like that as well. It's understandable, just know it can't really be described as optimal. You doing that puts your character at an immense risk. But if that's the way you want to play, there have been rushdown robos. They exist. It's a thing. Do what you want with that information. I am not going to tell you, I'm not going to police how you play the game. Just want to make sure you're aware. Other than that, I think I talked about everything else. Defense was looking good. Resets, I think you were getting there. I would recommend, again, learning the cross under setup where you like do jump heavy, kick under them, and then you have a left-right 2LP option. Quite strong. It's pretty ambiguous once you get it down, and the more you practice it, the easier it'll be for you to get it down. Yeah. And then for Octo, obviously it's not a fun matchup, and that standing beam, or that jumping beam kind of sucks, but does that? I think you can walk under it. If you can't, delay your jump until after it goes through and then jump afterwards, because you were kind of autopiloting into jump and then just getting hit by the jump M beam almost every time. And again, if they're doing it consistently, you can't arm them from full screen. It should be a punish. Other than that, yeah, I think that's the main thing. Just more of the same from the previous stuff. Taunt under it, honestly. If you want those resources, get them. Yeah, so the question for you, Aki, is would you want to play Gray or would you want to play Trashian? Random Rock. Because I can also just have a Random Rock for an open lobby. Gray Arsenic, the person typing in chat right above you. I don't know if you've ever played them. Alright, Gray, get in here. Yeah, both of y'all hop in. Y'all haven't played since last CB. Let's go! Yeah, you know where to find the link. Alrighty. Focus on the Bayo and the LB, right? Keep that in mind. I'm surprised that didn't catch. It's a bit of a call out. It's expensive. I honestly thought it would have worked too. Not gonna lie. Do like the absolute cards. It's good defense, have it. Caught by the throw. A back, great falling button. Top dash afterwards. Immediate snap. Didn't meaty, so we got hit by the people's elbow. Chicken blocked, but it wasn't your turn. Cerebella jump heavy kick is weird. It also just looks like we might be pressing a little bit too slowly on the chicken blocks. And now we're just getting Bella mixed. Alright, we gotta try and get ourselves into Rav, but it looks like we're not quite getting there. Right, jump heavy kick, up forward throw. Fair enough. Cheeky little throw reset. Do it again. Gray is mashing level 3, I hope you saw that. Oh, we weren't quite close, as close to the corner as we thought we were. There's level 3. There isn't really much of a reason to parry that. You kind of just end up taking more damage, in all honesty. Looks cool, though. Got caught low. Into the loving arms of Excella. That might have been the first time we saw it this set, so it's not really in our head. Yeah, our band is definitely up forwarding a lot. I'll pay a little bit more attention to the situations, but you might be able to jab more. I'll pay attention to what they're doing. But band jab is great. Band jab is phenomenal. Yeah, I'll focus. So for the Umbi, that last game, I think once you bought the space, once you got them away, instead of I mean, the slurp inside is fine, it gets you space out of the corner. After you set all that up, highly, highly recommend just trying to force your way into Ravenous. Oh, that's unfortunate. Because you get a wall of projectiles set up, it's really hard to contest, and then you're in... I mean, you're in Rav, so what else is there to say? Have fun holding this. Yep. We love Orange Vial here, don't we? Oh, that's so grimy. Hit with incoming. Like, yeah, you definitely do kind of just want out of that situation. I feel like calling assist is asking to lose the game on the spot. It's incredibly sketchy to call it there. DP goes in. Right, we have the hit. We need to get ourselves set up into Rav, which we did. Like, what's the mix? I don't think the skills. Faroot. Oh, that's grimy. Level 3. Yep. Alright. That is wild. You didn't recover in time. Oh, actually! Post-flash. Go into... It wouldn't have mattered, they had DHC. But... Not talking about DHC situations. You're under the weather super. Completely avoids Daisy. Completely avoids Daisy. You would lose to Bella level 3 afterwards, but it's very important to know. Incredibly important to know. So it doesn't end up actually mattering there, but... She hops off the ground for the entirety of it, so it completely avoids Daisy. It's both. Fair enough. Yeah. It feels like your Beowulf is relying on reads, or not even necessarily reads, but reactions with Airwolf to get a lot of hits. You were fishing for it a lot in Game 1 and Game 2. The arm got you the hit here. Obviously, it didn't end up getting you a full confirm afterwards, which is a little unfortunate. I would need to ask Ruby specifically how he likes to play this matchup. Because outside of... He plays it patient, lets them back off, and he likes to get hype immediately. That's the one thing I remember. Once again, calling the assist in the corner here is asking for pain. That is awkward. Got caught pressing. Happens. Oh, we full sent it? Okay. That is game 3. Yeah. This is like the way I'm thinking about playing the matchup and what I think I've seen Ruby do is back off, get hype, kind of just let them be annoying with crosses, but make sure you just get the hype, usually with taunt. Time a brass call for when the Valentine is going to be landing. And then use that to just hold her in place and try and cover a lot of ways in. Oh, that one's nice. Yeah. Again, I will say I think there might be a bit of a reliance on Airwolf to get in this matchup. Not a fun... I can't imagine it's a fun matchup. Sioki, cross up, slightly... too far. No, I've got to hold this. Off the counter. Oh, we get the pickup. This is a character. Oh, this is what I would say. Alright, get ourselves into Rev. We have the hit, we are now in Rev, we got the mix. Oh, mistimed the confirm slightly. Do not push block H dive. PBGC that. Fair enough. Don't let Squiggly just do it to you. I agree. I'm so glad you are not spending that resource. Again, under the weather wins there. I don't know if... I don't think you have the meter to go into your command throw super. Yeah, it's expensive. We spend a lot of our meter. Oh, they didn't realize they didn't have meter for... Beowulf, please. No hype. That's H-dive. Yeah, you didn't need to push block that. Overhead, low, throw. Great pressure. Maybe counter hit. Oh no, unfortunate. That happens. Up, forward, throw. It's been doing a lot of work for you. I'm interested. I don't know if I'm just blind. I feel like you can go through that a lot more against the Valentine too. The dash jump throw. It's been covering a lot of space and it's been catching Gray off guard a lot. Yeah. Loving terms of Bayo. Yep. Gray is one of these vowels. You got another chance. High-low throw. It's good pressure. Good punish. But you gotta mix it up a little bit. Next time I want to see Beowulf, please. One thing I definitely will say is I think your Brast usage can be better. Using Brast to hold them in place. Okay, you went for the dash jump throw. You're just slightly too early, which is honestly surprising. I would have gone for that too. I think you need to use Brass as a very, like... Think of it as a timing minigame. Wait until there's no way they can avoid it, so like after they've used their double jump, or you see them so close to the ground that their double jump won't avoid the Brass, and then call it. Because I think I see you call it a fair amount when they're just in the air, hovering, being Valentine, completely out of Brass's range. Cheeky little mix. Oh no! You were aware. We punished this time, nice. Gray making Crank churn in his Get Great grave. Yeah, get out of that. Paying attention to hunger, very good. Got the dome. Doesn't confirm. Yep. Watch the hunger. Went a little bit too far, we're back insatiated now. Yep, we bought the time. I do think the original game plan of fishing for chicken blocks on it was the right idea. I'm not entirely sure why I was messing up the last time you were going for it, but I think you had the right idea. I like that game plan. Their Bella is like jump heavy kick the Bella. But yeah, so for Bayo, I don't know how much, because my comments for Bayo kind of tie into just you playing the team in general. It felt like, and by that I mean my biggest thoughts were assist usage could make life a lot easier, and meter expenditure I think needs to be toned down a little bit. Which you did towards the end. So I was talking in the first couple of games, looked like you were really fishing for getting hits with Airwolf, but it kind of left you with no way to like arm your way through silly things afterwards, or just get random conversions off of garbage. And then it also left the rest of your team lower on meter, which sucks always. You had a couple times where, or there was one time you alpha countered. I didn't really think it was necessary after a burst. But that can be debated. No, there were multiple times, and one of the times you like spent to get arm after the alpha counter, and then you didn't get a pickup afterwards, and so it's like you're spending 2 bar to get a little bit of extra damage and like marginal Oki because they can tech after the arm hit. Maybe think about how and when you're spending the meter like that. Saving it for a rainy day. A little bit more at the very least. And then, yeah, so assist usage for characters like Valentine, assists are incredibly important for holding them in place. And again, the way you do that is you time it so there's no possible way they can avoid it. At least, like, or if the only way they can avoid it is an incredibly predictable option you can cover. It's like how Cloud and I Control play their Valentine teams. They get close enough to you, they do Excella, so you are forced to stay on the ground, and then they IAD jump heavy punch you with Valentine and left right you. Rather than just trying to use Excella in neutral. So I would argue for you, that's thinking about your Brast usage a little bit more. It's seeing her use her mobility in the air, waiting a second, and then going, okay, Brast is coming, they can't do anything about it. Yeah. Then for the Umbi, I liked a lot of what I saw. It was looking really solid. I think my biggest thing was you can be a bit more greedy up front I don't know exactly what the term is about getting your resource. Using L bubble to get to Rav also just makes it really hard to contest you getting to Rav. So if you fight for space, and even if you're in the corner, but they've given you a little bit of time to breathe and you think you can eke it out, oftentimes it feels like it might be the right move, because similar to how Peacock works, it's like if she gets a bomb out and she forces a trade, it ends up kind of being in her favor. And it's the same thing for you. It's like if you get it out and you force a trade, you're getting yourself closer to Rav for just a little bit of health, and usually like the trade isn't going to go in their favor unless it's like ban hit stun, which I guess would have to be symbols, in which case why the hell is that trading? But you get my point. I'm talking. I think those are my biggest things. And then I don't know whether this was we just didn't get to see the Bayo get in as much, but it might need a little bit of assistance or like a little bit more focus put on layering the pressure behind, because you did do like high low throw like in a sequence at least twice in a row that I saw, and the second time I was there it was blocked and teched, or blocked and up back rather. I don't think it was teched. And so like using brass to just force them to hold certain things. But again, that just might be because there were very limited interactions with you constantly in advantage, and that's kind of how those matchups are going to go, where it's like they're squirrely, you hold them down for 1 or 2 shots to get, and you either get on or you didn't. So yeah, I think that's that. It was looking good, and I was definitely. I'm very happy to see how you adapted throughout the course of it, because Gray is a certain kind of player, and so you definitely got checked like one of the first 2 games. And even though you technically lost the best of 5, you won the last 2. You were learning, you were getting the hang of it, you were getting the download. So that's very good to see. Good progress. Gray, we've talked about this. Don't me. Absolute psychopath. Random rock. Got double snapped. You want to start? Oh, speaking of double snaps, that was the one final thing. Please stop calling that brass in the corner. Oh my god, please. That was one thing I definitely need to talk about. Especially when orange filed and there's like literally nothing you can do reactively to protect that assist. Do not call that brass there. Like, it's completely understandable to be scared there. The thing you should realize is even though you're scared, you calling brass there makes you lose 2 characters instead of 1. That was the final thing, right? I was like, I know there's one other thing. What am I forgetting? But we'll give Random Rock a couple of minutes. Yeah. I mean, Bella double snap is, I think, just OTG, launcher, delay, jump heavy kick on repeat. Squiggly is launcher, stancel. There's a couple variations, but yeah, there's that. Who's your final character? Val? Isn't Val's literally just launcher, jump heavy punch, air dash, jump heavy punch? Like launcher on combo. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean your Bella's always a little new. Or well, always a little new. It was a little new and you haven't been playing, so it's yeah. Yeah, no, you're getting there. I definitely think one of the best things that will help you is timing your assist spells more. Because I think that's one of the things Ruby does so incredibly well that just makes it look like he's not playing neutral. It's just so hard to contest his Bayo with that fist behind him, and he always calls it at the right time. And so I think that will make your neutral feel a lot more straightforward once you start getting that. I'll give Random Rock a couple of minutes. I don't know if they actually want to. Like, I mean, no. Obviously they want to play today, but they might not actually end up being here. Um, like, oh, are you actually going to CB, Gray? Hell yeah. I can't wait to see you there. It's been a while. Um, I have someone I can ask. They might still have a spot, Gray, honestly. I'll try and make it out to every CB I can. Frosty is also up there this year. Was unfortunately a little too awkward to make it to, but CB is definitely like the big SG tourney. Yeah. I was just bad about hanging out in general last CB. It was like Frosty was me meeting a lot of friends, a lot of people, and that was when I was like actively trying to make sure I met people. And then CB, I was really bad about like hanging out with different groups, making sure I like said hi to more names. I like I didn't even say hi to Munoz. Munoz still doesn't know what I look like, and I've been to 2 tournaments with him. Like, just because I was like, nah, I don't want to. I don't want to interrupt their discussions. I don't want to push in. I'll talk to them later, and then it just like the opportunity never came. I was so bad. I was so bad about that. So I'm trying to be better about that this CB. It's like obviously I'm there to compete, but I'm not expecting much. It's like top 32, top 24, kind of our reach goals. But um, I mean, you go to tourneys for the homies. Like, I'm not Sonic. I'm not. I mean, Pen Pen I don't think is going, but I'm not like vending. I'm not that caliber of player. I'm not going in with a delusion of grandeur. I'll try my best. I'll go in like trying to win all those matches, but I'm not going in expecting to win anything. Yeah, you did bring up earlier you were playing a lot of TCGs. I haven't played a TCG remotely competitively since like Hearthstone in high school, which was 5 years, 4 or 5 years by this point. Um, yeah, I'm good. I am not winning a major caliber good, Aki. I feel like it's not like down on myself for like saying, I recognize I'm not on caliber with vending Sonic and Sage. Like, there's a lot of people showing up to CB. Top 24 is going to be incredibly hard to actually make. Like, JP is JP has to fight to make top 24. JP made top 24 last CB and then got out in the first round. Yeah, no, I'm not. Um, yeah. Um, I just completely skipped Dobot. I am so sorry. um, yeah, Hammy didn't actually want to play. So, any intermediate players want to play Dovad for open lobby? Otherwise, I'll just hop in. Um, yeah, we'll get this. We'll get this going. You might be a bit much for them, Gray. Oh, I mean, if you want it, Dovad, yeah, hop back in, Gray, I guess. It's, I don't know, they're Gray can be a very overwhelming experience. They are rusty, so their on hit probably isn't going to be as bad. But like, yeah, yeah, it might not be as bad as I expect it to be. I'm just traumatized from getting like swept by Gray when he gets some random hit off of like some nuclear option he chooses. Gray on hit is unironically one of the only people who could consistently open me up. It's wild. I don't understand how this man mixes me so hard. Right, but we got the point robo. I will focus on the robo. Right, I remember this. Right, we're beaming, we're staying out of range. She got a little close. Went for saw, push block, get her off of you, I agree. Oh, okay, we've run ourselves into the corner. Take the space, yes. Get yourself out, run away, run away, run away, run away. I don't know about jumping forward like that there. It's a little iffy. Bring him back down, let's jump medium kick, or medium punch, whatever that button is. These dusts are a little sketchy, you are covering them with your assist. Do this. Is this enough to kill? I don't think it is with ratio. Go overhead, go low. Overcommit to the mesh. That happens. Just keep it in mind. We're pressing, stag pressure, go for a tick throw. Beam will not chip out. Gray messes up the punish. That should have been a hit on your enemy. Alright, now Squiggly is in. How are we mixing the Squiggly? It's a good incoming. Love it. Unfortunate drop. Checked a little bit incorrectly after the dive kick. I'm not entirely sure what she can do better there, besides timing. It's awkward, it happens. Push block. Magnet. Get over her. We gotta fight our way out of this corner. H-beam is incredibly committal. Pretty sketchy. Yep. Oh, we just stopped blocking after we got restood. Great block and push block. Get her off of you. That is phenomenal defense. Good beams. I will warn you, even without charge, Squiggly can punish beam, like, beam follow-up beam, including TK beams. Maybe not TK beams? I forget. Doing repeated beams, uncharged Sing SBO still catches you. Keep that in the back of your mind when you're playing versus a Squiggly, because if you overextend, it could be the end of your robo. We're in. Alright, the Kua is in. No shadow afterwards. We've run ourselves into the corner. Jump out. Yep. Okay. Chugging a little bit. I hope that's just windowed on my end. Yep, run away. We lost control. All assist. Keep running. Grounded beams are a little... DAC out. We got the meter. Definitely won't kill here. What's the mix? Grippy. Still scaled. Drop. Catch them low. Is that an actual brace blade? I don't think it was, right? Also, just random thought, Dovid. It doesn't need to lead into anything. Snap? Oh, no. Yep, you got a snap there. or just commit to the beam super. It might have been enough to kill, but Snap gets rid of the level 3. Random thought. I'm curious if P-Stent Heavy Punch, how much you'd enjoy that as an assist for your team. It will help with your robo-zoning. It allows you to cover the ground while your beam covers the air. And it's like L-George can really mess up people for Annie, or for Robo, but Annie also has like H Crescent that she kind of already approaches behind, so I don't know if you necessarily need L-George for that. It's just a random thought I had. You do not need to do anything with it, but figured I might say something. Okay. We are playing solo Squidly. That anti-airs? What in the... Good blocks. Alright, yep, we gotta watch out for the stand heavy punch. Jump light kick, gets in, we're up backing like crazy. Oh, punish this. Yep. She was too close. Take the full screen, now we'll run away. Just keep running away. Great defense. Got caught. Brave sweep. Kinda just walked at you and you said you don't like that. Yeah, we gotta keep that tight. Not only can they press a button there if you don't keep it tight, pretty sure Squiggly will just be able to double jump out. Dash under, yes. Again, be a little bit cautious of the beam, but so far you're not getting punished for it, so it's one of those things that's like, I'll warn you about it, but until you get actually like punished for it, they show you they know what they're doing. It's not that big a deal. Go back to zoning. Gray's going full screen for some reason. You take that. You take this every day. Go back to normal zoning. Don't know if we wanted that ending. Yep. Overextending into Squiggly can lead to disaster. Good defense. PPGC, land cancel, get hit. That is cursed. I am so sorry. Get take thrown. You pressed on incoming. Mashing. Oh, does beam not combo there? Yep, that gets rid of the crescent. They're doing a lot of stuff above your head. With how low they are, I would highly recommend, like, this is a situation where Annie DP wins you the game. Very rarely is that actually the case. Oh no! Okay, you were thinking of it. That is... She was just barely in the most awkward range for that. Yeah. When they're forward in front of your head, definitely recommend. Yeah, when they're right above your head, it's a little sketchy. It's like, I do that as Squiggly DP as well, and Squiggly DP even whiffs there, even though it's like the god of autocorrecting, so always be careful about going for that when they're directly above your head. Alright. We've incurred the full wrath of Gray. Maybe I was entirely wrong in my call. You might be able to handle this. Oh, the Valentine's. And yeah, Saw with a multi-hit assist coming at you is probably a lapse of judgment. DHC? Kill her? Oh, the game crossed your level 1 input? I understand. Level 3 is coming. Yes, check and block it, push blocker out. Perfect way of healing. Yeah, it's not really your turn after that. It didn't look like it. It's one way to deal with a Squiggly in front of your face. Yeah, take all of the space you've been given. All of that space you've been given. Be careful about calling your assist because they've shown they know how to PBGC Sing Punish. Cheeky little cross-up bomb. Fair enough. Do it again. Yep, gotta deal with these reflex. When they're in the air, highly recommend Air Surcharge. We're fishing for these unbangs a bit too much, though. Gray does run at you, but he can and will adapt his pressure to your reversal tendencies. That's Annie's turn there. Stargate. Yeah. Okay. I completely misjudged where you'd be at for some reason. Gray. Yeah, zoners are hard, especially when you're resting. There's one more game, Gray. Gray, get back in here. It's 5 games. Right, no. Okay, yeah, This Twitch hatch is 40 seconds. You love to see it. Oh, blessed.
Side effects may include nausea, headaches, and death.
This is true love we're making. Action!
Straight up. A little bit sketchy. Yeah, I know the Valentine is in dangerous airspace. Goes for the raw grounded bypass. There we got the hit. Good reaction. Oh man, I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed by the air dash pressure. Get gripped. Okay, how do we deal with orange file? I mean, man, it's just, can you guess, right? Push block turns into a dash back. Yep, I can cross up. Nice. Okay, you're not snapping. Oh, unfortunate. Truly unfortunate. No! Right idea. Slightly misexecuted. Yep, not overextending. Yeah, and so... I don't actually know. Gray. So extra. Gray might know this answer better than I do. I feel like P2LK deals with a lot of the squiggly shenanigans just right above your head. None of that is actually real. Even if you don't have anti-airs, but obviously your characters do, Annie 2LP, Annie 2HP, P2LK. You have those as tools to try and call them out. Up back and try an air throw, or just up back for the chicken block on the dive kick. It usually is your turn after that. That's sort of how you deal with Annie stuff. But overall, I think your Robo is looking pretty solid. If I had to be nitpicky, think anti-assist calls could be a little bit better. I think you can save them until they're going to be landing on the ground mid-screen. And then I would argue you might have been a little bit too aggressive moving forward sometimes. I think you could have moved backwards a little bit more before like trying to double jump back onto them. But I mean, overall, your robo is honestly looking pretty solid. It looks like good progress. And then obviously you realized why you need to keep the cross under set up tight. You got bonked for that. Other than that, you just got to experience orange file. There's not much counterplay to orange file. Guess lol lamau. You can try and mash, but your characters don't have the best mashing options, so it's yeah. There's not much to say about orange file. You understand. You're doing a good job keeping the Val out. I'm trying to figure out why in the last game the Val kind of stuck to you. There was obviously you tried to stand heavy punch a Dragon Bite, which is not going to work. Even if you hit the Dragon Bite, you're not hitting the point, so you're liable to get hit afterwards. Yeah, getting too predictable with air beams will do that. And it was the same thing I was pointing out with the Squiggly matchup as well. You were probably beaming a little bit too much. I'll give the TLDR of the preach I usually give because I'm pretty sure you've heard it before. Robo, you don't actually need to do too much. You just straight up pick and choose your battles as best you can, and then spend the rest of the game getting into the best place to pick a battle. So that's sort of how a Robo works. You kind of just run around being a nuisance, and then if you try and get too many beams in, you're gonna get checked. The majority of the cast can punish overzealous beaming. So it's a thing to keep in mind. It wasn't happening, so you didn't need to tone it down as much as you might need to versus a player who's consistently calling for it more. But it's a thing to keep in mind. So yeah, no, the game you won, you got 3 hits into orange file, and they couldn't quite get to the Valentine off of them. There were definitely 2 or 3 IAD jump heavy punches that eventually one of them got through. But I mean, overall, your defense was nuts, Dovad, for the most part. Like, you did not, on hit, mixing this game is like crazy. It's whatever, getting hit by that, but you were not getting opened up even by Gray kind of just throwing everything at you. Good stuff, very good stuff. On that note, and it was kind of more play-by-play, because I agreed with most of the stuff you were doing for Robo throughout the course of the set. I kind of just talked about what you were doing, and then if I like don't quite agree with some of the things you were doing. So, but I'm also not a Robo player, so it's not super in-depth. But that'll be more useful than me trying to recall anything else I said here. So for you, or for any of y'all else who were here tonight, obviously, if you want me to give another look, or if you have extra questions, so on and so forth, ping me. If it's timestamp specific, please include the timestamp so I can just look at it. And I'll gladly like revisit a set if you want more advice. On that, I will figure out who we're rating while I get y'all to the video. So I think that's all from me. There is a CC&D tournament in like 30 minutes. There's that. There's Hunter's Hustle tomorrow. As always, Monday, Cheekly Weekly, usual spiel. Tuesdays is the second iteration of the Training Mode Network's Skullgirls bi-weekly. That is for intermediate and beginner players. Their definition of intermediate is not necessarily aligned with ours, but it is still like a learning tournament, so it'll you'll figure it out. It's just semantics at that point. Wednesdays, obviously us, be great. Thursdays, there's the funny Mixmasters, the biggin, the big weekly. Friday, Ron Kuhn, if he's running them. I don't think he's said anything about Friday yet. Not that I can see. But yeah, those are the tournaments, the usual deal. Have a good night, everybody.
And my spectator.
That's okay.
Oh, nice! Ooh!
Oh, we avoided
Let's go.
it. Nice.
Oh, let me see it.
Hey,
Here's the combo.
Hey.
you finished this. They died.
That's somewhat of a combo,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, they're dead.
We're missing a few more parts to it, but
Yeah.
We got Abomination.
It's like we have some bombos, but like our knowledge of the mechanics of the game are not exactly there just yet.